Going live, being incompetent, shadows nowhere to be seen. Uh, don't know where he is, honest. I will send him a message on Discord. Bro, I just went live. And there he is. So, we're supposed to be talking about writing this morning for a half hour or so, but Shadow's nowhere to be seen. Wait, just got a ding from him. Internet issues, can't make it. Fuck. Oh, we'll say okay. And I will put the link out to general if anyone shows up. Is that Bones? It's going to be a short one today because I do not do this well on my own. For those who are not aware, we are entering second week of write a short story about big snobby robots. And since I haven't actually sat down to do that yet, I've got nothing to talk about. The purpose of the 6-week thing is to give us plenty of time to get the creative juices going. And I've been working on other projects. I should start working on the big stompy robots, though. Let's open up chat, see if anyone shows up. There's no one watching at the moment. I'm definitely leaning to calling this episode quickly. I'll try and keep about a half hour going if anyone comes by. Our good buddy Bo, or not Bo, Bubba. Our good buddy Bo is working hard at his nursing job or whatever. Our good buddy Bubba, who is commonly on the show, is in the hospital right now. Some heart thing. So prayers out to him. I am definitely stalling. So he won't be swinging by. TCG is out there somewhere. If you hear my psychic verbs calling for help, swing in. Oh, damn, I do not do this well on my own. Big stompy robots, big stompy robots. I don't want to do a high noon thing. I think maybe like 4 or 5 mechs working through the premise of the first Great Death Legion book comes to mind, but much shorter. Maybe Armor. Did any of you out there read Armor? Armor's a good book. I highly recommend it. Who wrote fucking Armor? I know the guy only wrote 2 books, then he died. Um. Wikipedia. Armor. No, I'm just getting stuff on tanks. Just like good information to know. Oh, right here. It's the last one on the list. John Stackley? No. Whatever his name is. It's about a guy in a power armor fighting these insects, and most of his patrol gets wiped out and he gets stuck. out in the middle of nowhere, and he breaks his mind breaks a little bit, and he keeps fighting the bugs. Keeps fighting. Um, Bugs are like Tyranid bugs, but this was in the '60s when this book came out. Actually, I could look see when the book was published. Oh, '80s, 1984. It feels like a '60s book though. Uh, so the main character, who I don't think we ever learn the name of, um, keeps fighting these things. They call them ants. Um, and like we viscerally feel the character breaking psychologically, and then he eventually meets back up with some other people who just don't get it. Hey, Nerdy Ogre, I'm here by myself. Shadow's internet is being gay or something. If you want the link, it should be in the communal chat. I could use a lifeline. I believe you're in there. Um, the Discord group chat. I was talking about the book Armor. Um, where was I? So the character Armor, because he's never named as far as I can recall, um, meets up with some like new soldiers that drop down on this world, and they just don't get it, and they start getting whacked, and they start looking at him like he's like batshit crazy, but he just kills everything psychotically. It's a good character uh, exploration. There's a name for that term. On the road right now. Fuck. I'm thinking of ending this one quick because I'm by myself and I suck at being a solitary talking head, bro. Um, but I'll try to keep it going for a little bit in case anyone can show up uh, in the conversation. Uh, but yeah, I could mine that for some ideas. Mine armor. Uh, what other mech stories do I like? Starship Troopers is good. Like Starship Troopers follows. You should know John Rico. Yeah, John Rico. Uh, from when he decides to join the mobile infantry to just before he dies. If none of you got that, the reason why the story ends abruptly is because poor old Rico wasn't able to make another entrance into his journal. In the book, it's written that way as journal entrances. Uh, Not obnoxiously so to make it entertaining, but if you pay attention, their entrances in his journal. Um, yeah. Uh, uh, Hang in there. I'm on my way home. Yeah. I'll do my best. Uh, I don't know though. Uh, I've been trying to keep these things shorter, but it, 2 hours, not 10 minutes. Uh, so we got that. Definitely don't want to do the expansiveness of. I want to keep it to a 30-page story, but I don't know. Still don't know what kind of character I want to be leading the story. I don't know what my protagonist should be. I could fall back on the standard stoic individual, um, resisting invasion or whatever. Or the intrepid youth that gets in over his head and is sent off to you die on the battlefield. I could do what I did with my last short story for the 6 week challenge, which is take a song and then force it into the genre. Which, if you haven't seen my short story, it's on my Discord under sci-fi. I should put it up on Shadow's book club thing as well, um, along with a link to my Discord with instructions if you want a writing community. We're building one up over here. Um, but no, what song would I pick? I could go through some more songs and then just force it in. Find one I like the story of. See, I'm not opposed to using AI as a tool for things. So one of the ways I did that was I asked ChatGPT if it knew the song Big Iron, right? Big Iron. And then when it said yes, I asked it to describe the premise of the story point by point, and it did. And then I asked it to break that down uh, further so I could look at it, like I could visually see the different events in the story. And then once it done that, I copied that over into my text editor, my Google Docs, and then I wrote in the scenes I wanted for each event, um, adding more for depth in the story, because there's it's a good song, but there's not a lot of like subplot going on. Um, which is like easy, right? Like it's instead of sitting there for hours deciphering a song, you just have uh, a robot do it. You get the same results faster. You're not using the you're not using it to write prose, which is the important thing. Not that, if you get stuck on something, only an asshole would care. Um, because the important thing for the reader is the story good or not how the person that delivered it to you got it to you. Uh, right? At least that's how I feel. Um, that, and I also use it for names. I don't have an idea what someone's name should be. Hey, TCG. I put the link in the communal chat because Shadow can't make it. If you want to pop in here, please. I am a leaf on the wind, and am waiting for that spear to come through the window. Oh, yeah. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Oh, where was I? I was talking about coming up with story ideas for the robot challenge this cycle. I'm still stuck on the kind of character I want, though, right? Like, what do I want? What do I want the protagonist to be? You know what I should do is open up ChatGPT and ask it to give me like 30 different protagonists for a robot story, and discard all of them. But after reading them, I will have like the juices will be flowing. That works. If you're ever stuck, uh, give me a minute. Okay, yeah, bro. I'm the one that's panicking out here, not you. Take your time. um, but I would appreciate it. Uh, the if you're ever stuck writing something, and instead of sitting there looking at the blank screen or the blank page or whatever, endlessly. You just open up one of these various AIs, these large language models, and ask it to give you several examples of whatever you're looking for, plus the contextual information you need it to have. Uh, right. So if there's events going on in your story that you've written already, you'll want it to know that, and then just ask it for ideas and specify a certain number of ideas. You don't want it to continue. You need to like, so the first thing I would do is, like, say I'm writing something and I've gotten so far in the story and I copy it into the AI scene by scene or chapter by chapter. That way it doesn't freak out. And each time I do, I say, acknowledge this, and then say yes or no. Just pull. Okay, bro. Okay. Nerdy. Spend time with your wife. She's more important than hanging out with me. I'm a fat guy on the internet. Um. Yeah. So you get all the information there for her to understand, and then ask it to give you 10 or 15 or sometimes just 5, just enough to get the juices going. I can guarantee you will discard all 5 of them, but something will occur to you as you read through the possibilities. At least I've never had a time when something hasn't occurred to me when I've gotten stuck. So, and everyone else I hear doing that has the same thing, right? Like, that's stupid but sort of interesting. That's stupid but sort of interesting. I could work with that, but it's mostly dumb. Uh, and then once you're done that, the the little hints of inspiration will establish in your mind to something worthwhile. And hopefully that gets you at least a dozen scenes further into the story before you hit another roadblock. Um, and of course, never be afraid to go back and remove shit that you wrote, even though you thought it was really good at the time. You spent 3 days working on something, and then as you get further in the story, it becomes more and more of a hindrance to progressing the story. It's better to pull it out and throw it aside. Maybe don't delete it. Maybe put it in a different document of like ideas that could be explored in different stories. Um, but yeah, definitely don't. They call it killing your darlings or whatever in the writing communities out there, wherever. Don't be afraid to do that, man. I gotta lose weight. Looking at my man titties on the screen here. This is why I zoom in. Yeah, that's better. I'm thinner now. Oh, but yeah, uh, I don't know, man. It's just feel weird talking to myself. So we we know we've got big stomper robots. I'm still there, and I bet I'd be more fluent with ideas if I was actually writing stuff down. Hmm. So maybe we have a story of, say, five mechs being deployed on a world, and we slowly watch them fall as the story goes through in like an endless combat scene. like there's several objective points along the path of victory, and then we have maybe one guy or whatever succeed or get to the finish point, the victory goal of the combat scene, and is he successful? Is he not? Leave it up to leave it up to how I feel when I get there. There are three possibilities, right? To that kind of story, and that is yes, the objective is achieved, the enemy are vanquished. Um, no, the objective is not achieved. The enemy holds in just long enough for reinforcements or whatever, are ambiguous, right? We've got the showdown with the one last enemy combatant and our surviving protagonist, and it ends. Okay, we can. This one, two was. Um, yeah, uh, nerdy. There is the third option of ambiguous conclusion, right? It could just be ending at the showdown. But we never know. With one you eat and come on or eat. Well, I'm on. Yeah, I don't care, bro. If you eat, I've eaten on the show plenty of times. I don't give a shit if you eat on the show. I think you should spend more time with your lady friend than my fat ass, but that's just me. Uh, but if you want to hop in here and show us your tacos, I could always enjoy watching. You know me, I like tacos. I don't eat them often enough. I like. Uh, oh, I guess I'll pull that up. Oh, fuck. It's been look, fucking stupid hair. Uh, that's worse. There we go. Bad hair day. Bad day. Oh, let's see. We have that idea so far. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do the guys deployed, sort of like that opening scene in Starship Troopers when they're going after the skinnies, the tall gray aliens that they just exterminate for the sake of exterminating whoever's out there. Right. The bugs did provoke the Terran Federation, but I don't know what the skinnies ever did. They were just like on some real estate or something. They looked weird. You look weird, bro. I'm gonna shoot you now. Oh, with a nuke. Oh, what you know? I'm not above that being a thing happening. Oh, oh, fuck. Where the fuck is everyone? Both these, both these fuckers over here in chat said they're gonna come on. Oh, hey,
Hey, what's up?
it's Shadow. And it,
Sorry about that.
no, 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 no. I don't care, man. I've been floundering here on my own. I've got TCG and Nerdy both in chat teasing me that they're going to come on. None of them have shown up yet. Yeah, you shut your camera off,
Uh,
or you trying to
uh,
save bandwidth
Let me see.
because it was on when you first showed up.
Yeah, I
So,
know. So what I
uh,
miss?
just me kind of like wondering what I'm gonna do for my story, and then bullshitting. I kind of explained how I use uh looking for the link. Aren't you in the group chat, Nerdy?
Hey, Raven.
Hey, oh, Raven, shut up. Hey, Raven. Yeah, Nerdy Ogre. You're in the Reckless Rants group chat, aren't you? It's the most recent post in there. Raven, the link is in the group chat as well. Can't find the
Can't find
link.
the link.
I'll post it again. It'll pop up in your thing.
So it was a good show last night.
Yeah.
It really was. It's nice having everybody, but I can see you're getting a little frustrated with people talking over each other. But other than that, I think it was
It,
solid for a 15-page story.
yeah. No, no. You 15-page story is it's not the number of pages the book is. It's about the things that happen in it.
Hmm.
The real only difference with longer stories, like full on novels, is how dense you make the things happen in it. Um, uh, somebody shut up. There you are, nerdy. How you doing? Your
Doing
tacos
good.
any
How
good?
you doing?
What's up, nerdy?
Yeah, he's eating a taco. Well, it doesn't look like a taco, but it could be the camera size. Oh, also looks more like a burrito. But whatever. Different people, different folks. Um, yeah, yeah. I don't know. I was last night was good. We got sidetracked a lot though. Like even for your show, bro.
Uh, to be honest, you know, uh, it was so little content in the story. I thought we covered it, and I wanted to save the questions that I would ask about any story toward the wrap up period. Um,
No,
so
no. You gotta. We gotta get a formal list of questions,
yeah,
and one of those things has got to come out every 30 minutes, maximum. Because I'm pretty sure that list did not get finished.
yeah, I'll work on that later today, or at least by the next 2 week period. Uh, and I
Yeah,
don't know.
no.
I don't think the
Don't
book.
worry about it.
I don't think the next book is on an Audible anywhere that I'm aware of.
What's the next book again?
Swords and Deviltry by Fritz Lieber.
Um, I have it on my PC. I will find out how I created that link I sent you that one time
Hmm.
for the Amber series
Yeah,
because I
yeah.
don't remember how I did that, and I will put that in the.
Okay,
But remind me on Monday because I might forget if I haven't done it by then,
okay, that's fair.
or tomorrow, or Sunday. Just yell at me until I get it done because I'm not going to do it right now. I have to look up how I did it. Uh,
So, did you get a chance to read TCG's story yet?
no,
Okay, I finished it last night.
was it any good?
It's a, to be honest, it's more like a very long outline. It needs some work. Um,
And that's definitely why I recommend the Google Docs thing because it allows you to. to suggest that if you activate that function. The thing you sent me this morning, last night, whatever,
Uh-huh.
that required me to verify.
Yeah,
What was that? I haven't
that's
looked at.
the next story challenge.
Oh, okay, okay. Why do you have it so it's only authorized and not just the people that have
I
the
don't know
right?
why that did that. But I
Okay,
sent.
there's a checklist of options you
Yeah, I
have.
only saw two people that I could. Okay.
Oh, I just did it before starting the show.
Okay.
I set up everything at 11:30,
Okay.
and that's when I opened Discord and saw that I had three things pending, and that was one of them. Uh, Nerdy bro, are you thinking about getting in on any of our writing challenges?
Um, sure. Yeah. I remember back in the day, there was a while there where I wanted to be a writer, but I just never did any.
Okay, so we started this one last week. This is the second week as of today. And we're giving ourselves 6 weeks, so there's 5 weeks left in write a short story about big stompy robots.
About what
That's
robots?
big stompy robots, mech suits, yeah, whatever, right?
Yeah.
BattleTech, Mech Warrior, the same thing. Gundam Wing, any of that kind of like vibe of like Starship Troopers,
Big O
big O,
Gundam.
yeah, anything like that. Um, just that kind of feeling. Obviously, your
Right.
own story and not fan fiction.
Right. Right.
That means spend a little time scraping the serial numbers off before you hand it in.
Yeah. Yeah. Guilty as charged. I'm actually gonna rewatch the Love, Death, and Robots so that I don't make too many similarities. Obviously, there's the one glaring, which is the
Yeah,
plot.
yeah. Just throw some other stuff in there and mix it
I,
around a bit. And,
I've done in the 2.5 pages. I've already set enough
yeah,
differences, and
yeah. So
I'm
so
not doing rules and shit.
we're trying to fit everything into roughly a short story length. So that's 3 to 30 pages. You pick the length in between there, right? That I think that's the rough industry standard for what a short story is. 3 to 30. Um, yeah, but if you want to participate, really, as far as I'm concerned, it's only Shadow and I that are trying to stick to the 6 week thing. So if you get inspired and want to write something, throw it in my Discord in the appropriate section, or people have been throwing stuff into Shadow's book club thing for people to
All
read.
right.
Yeah, I should make a new place for that sort of thing as well.
Well, I would appreciate it if you just encouraged people to come over to my Discord.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
Yeah. Beelzebubba, don't feel pressured to come on. I wish you the best luck for your surgery earlier. I almost called you Bo again, just because both names start with a B and aren't Bob. Yeah. Okay.
Oh man, my
TCG.
computer's being so slow this morning.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh so everyone's coming in. I finally got other people to talk besides myself.
Well, with you, Justin,
Uh,
you don't even need anybody else. You just got to talk.
well, bro, did you not see
The
my
conversation will build itself.
floundering? Did you not see my floundering, panicking behavior when I was by myself? Like, what the fuck
No,
am I doing
actually,
here?
thanks
I'm
to how late
scared.
up I. Yeah. Now, honestly, thanks to how late I got up. I actually missed the first 15 minutes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no. I'm not good about being a solitary talking head, especially if I don't have a script. And since this show's not
Yeah.
scripted,
Script's,
Hmm?
Script's overrated.
Yeah. You mostly want talking points more than a
No,
script.
that you do need.
Yeah. Your FBI. What the fuck
My
is
FBI
this?
would be extremely disappointed then, because he'll never find anything like that on my computer. I keep it all up in my noggin. They'd have to dissect my brain to find it. So I can't say they couldn't do that.
Oh. Use it. What the fuck? Oh. Oh. No. No, this is wrong. Besides, I wouldn't have an FBI observer. I'd have a CSIS observer. And those guys are about as competent as a chihuahua. I know. They tried hiring me once. That was before I was in my current politics.
Yeah. That's
Fucking
literally
dumbass.
no worse than I would never make it as a cop. I know that as the truth now, but a cop literally said, "Dude, you'd make an excellent cop when you grow up because of my attitude towards certain things as a child."
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, well, I've learned enough about the way cops, at least they should be trained. I could not handle the training.
Yeah, no. On my phone.
Yeah, I don't think I'd make a good cop or either because I have a low threshold for stupid people with authority.
Mhm.
Oh,
Like,
I've never had to deal with anyone direct in the authority position, but I have no patience for children and their level of stupidity. What makes you think I'm going to have patience for adults like that?
Yeah. It's worse because a lot of cops these days are trained to be deliberately obtuse
Yeah.
on what they're supposed to be doing and overreach.
Yeah. Yeah. As an adult, I'm glad. I wish I had gone to military school as a child because I definitely could have handled it then, and maybe actually had a military career and done something with my life.
No.
But as an adult, there's no way I could do military at all. Not with my mindset.
Five Eyes. Yeah. So yeah, it might be an FBI agent spying on me and then handing that information over to the Canadian government because that's how the Five Eyes works, right? They get around the illegality of spying on their own citizens by having an allied country do it for them.
Oh, I've known that for years.
Yeah.
it would most likely be IRS.
Yeah, I personally, I think just the opposite. I would have made too good a cop or what have you. I did the PI thing, and that's pretty close. If I could have made it the first couple of years, I would have gone really far. Unfortunately, I was too busy doing other things.
Yeah, I could see Officer Shadow. Sorry, Officer
Craig,
Oh, I was just gonna say Gregory. Get out of my mind! Get out of my mind!
it's funny you say that because that was actually my dad's first name.
Oh. Officer Gregory.
Good taco.
So
We've
since
been
this
doing that a lot
about
to each other
robots,
lately, bro.
Yeah, well, we do hang out like a lot, and great minds think alike. So just chalk it up to that.
this conversation is supposed to be about big stumpy robots. Shadow, did you get to the end of my book yet?
Yes, I
That's
did.
what the big stumpy robot is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole thing
Did I
needs
give
some
enough
more-
description to put the robot in your mind, but not so much that it had to be what I imagined it to be? 'Cause I want to leave enough room for you to imagine the robot in your own way.
It could use a little bit more detail description, and I'm guilty of this as well. I'm not a
Yeah.
big, huge describer when it comes to certain things. I also like to leave as much to the reader's imagination.
Yes, that is important. You want enough description to inspire a person to think about a thing, but not enough to make it feel like you're just describing an object.
Yeah, or
Um,
the actions as well.
yeah, they call
Unless
it
you're doing
show
something
don't tell.
like combat, which is tough. Combat, if you don't know enough about it, it's hard to write it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the
Well,
other
there are
questions I
tools
had.
for
What did
that
you think
now.
of the combat scene between Doragon and Senshi?
It needs
to me it felt a little
needs
forced.
well, not only that, not to pile on, but it needs a few replacement phrases like counterattack. Nobody uses that except in gaming,
Yeah.
or military strategy, as opposed to a more tactical.
That's the kind of word you'd use beating out the scene and not writing it. Like,
Yeah.
so beating, like you'd say in a song,
Like an
that's a
outline.
beat, right? Like it's um
Yeah. Well, Shadow's already pointed out I need to find a few more words, such as, well, actually,
Yes.
example is, I noticed it before Shadow pointed it out, how often I used fortunately and unfortunately. It shows up in the book a lot.
yeah, that's gonna happen. You're gonna do that. That's why it's called a first draft. Shadow was saying
Yeah.
before you got in here that it felt more like an outline to him. I haven't gotten the chance to read it yet.
A very long outline.
But outlining is important, right? Like if you're a plotter, right? That's the method of like knowing what you're writing before you sit down and just release it.
Part of the reason why it feels like an outline is because I'm also setting up for future books. Like, there's actually going to be more books about this character and now.
That's good, but that's not the point of what we're saying. Is
Really?
it doesn't feel like, from what Shadow said, it doesn't feel enough like you're spending time. You haven't flushed out the events yet.
Yeah.
They feel
And-
more
and-
like
and
placeholders of what's
finding
going to
your-
happen instead of what actually happens.
and finding your own voice as opposed to so matter of factly, as you'll see. You need to find, whether it's the narrator's voice or the character's voice, a way to dress it up and give it some flavor, as opposed to like an incident report.
Yeah.
You want to find little turns of phrases and little touches here and there to just search it up.
Yeah. Spend more time in each moment, balloon it out. I will try and.
It is my first book, so
Story. It's not a book. It's a story.
Yeah,
fair.
And
but book specifically is book is specifically the format that it's delivered in. And novel, short story, those all refer to lengths of things of a story.
Okay.
Just because you've been using the word incorrectly, and I can be a bit of a Nazi.
Pedantic.
Well, Shadow should have seen at least one of the references that was aimed at him, and definitely should have noticed the reference aimed at you.
God, that was like a sledgehammer, freaking obvious. Is he really doing that? Is he really doing that?
I didn't get to this. What was the reference?
It's just some paperwork.
Posters.
Yeah, I've done some post running in my day.
It's some very, very content specific posters. I mean, it might as well have just been signed with your name. Although I did wonder if the dead guy in the cryo tube was me, but
actually, there is two references to you, Shadow. One of them is the cryo tube, and the other one is the Old West Tower. I figured
But
the
see, that's
Desert
one of
Eagle
the
would have made it obvious the cryotube was you.
yeah. Although Desert Eagle's not a revolver, just saying.
I know. Hey, this is far in the
But
future. Somebody having a
right,
6-shot
so
Desert Eagle revolver sounds totally
someone
possible.
decided to, over at whichever company.
Bubba just sent me something on Discord. And I'm gonna pull it up.
Yeah, Bubba. No, now.
This is Detective Shadwell.
Wow, I got one hell of a tan. I've been
Yeah,
hitting the beach.
and probably gained 6 inches between the legs.
No.
Probably. Um, that would only be appropriate, I think, Bubba, if my partner was this big ginger French guy.
Ginger French guy.
Oh my god, I'm gonna have to make a character Ginger French.
Yeah. All I see is Mr. Max. Like, what the fuck? Are you referring to something specific, or?
Just because of the banana reference, the banana report.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Those are just freaking hilarious. Not because they're funny, but because it's just like this completely random thing. Oh yeah, I'm gonna tell you how this banana tasted. Nothing else.
Yeah, it's just a normal banana. It's like not even like like an exotic banana.
Yeah,
it's just like, hey, you know this banana you could go buy at any grocery store in North America? I'm gonna tell you a report on it.
Yeah, kind of AI.
Yeah, AI is one of those things. You can be more specific if you're using those. Specify like
Well, if you
an
can get
ethnic group or whatever.
learn not just what prompts to use, but kind of be able to anticipate how the AI is going to use them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing I'll give. I already forgot what it's called, but the one that I generally use.
The one on Canva?
Editing. Yeah, thank you. It doesn't like guns, but it knows when you want a white person versus a black person.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Some of them can be kind of spurgy. There are ways around. There are ways around that. On most of them, I don't know what. I don't think Canva has theirs in house. I think they outsource it to someone else. So
I'm
you got to
thinking
find
that's
out
the case too because of their
where
ridiculous rules.
Yeah. Yeah. Update. Yeah, just use screen caption and circle it around his face right now, and use that image. Oh wait, you're on your phone. You might not be able to do that. If you're on your computer, you can hit. Look, I think it's Control F12, or my keyboard has a button for it. It just opens up. Don't do it because it might not be that command, and that command will do something. But my keyboard has a thing to activate it, and it just grays out the screen a little bit, and has a thing, and I can just drag a box over part of the screen, and it'll take that as a screenshot, like a photo. I'll save it. As the guy looks off to the sun with his flinty gaze, like he's trying to be Clint Eastwood or something.
Hey, some of the best artwork I've gotten out of any AI art so far is from one of them you sent me. I forgot which program it is. I got it up here somewhere. And that's where I got the bunny that is on the for Discord. But the first images that I showed for my book and for Shadow's book, I got those off of. I know the program's picture. I don't know my name very well.
I got to tell you, TCG, people over at Biggest Geek is loved it, not just Joe and Randy, but the audience in general absolutely loved that.
Yeah.
Image.
Well, then I have to go through and sorry.
The original one I liked more than
Yeah,
the
I'll
second
have
one.
to go through and put the original onto Shadow's slightly reworked book, the one that has 2 more paragraphs.
Yeah.
Shadow didn't say, "Yeah, I prefer the other picture." He just like, "Yeah, the other book sure looks cooler," but he doesn't say, "Hey, will you switch it back?" So I was like, "Okay," so he just wants to keep this one. But then on the show, he's like, "Oh, this is so much better." It's like, Shadow, tell me to switch it back, and I'll send you the proper thing. It's not that
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah, definitely. Keep the Google Doc, because it will be easier to create what you need for publishing on Amazon
Yeah.
over doing it in Canva. You can do it in Canva. It's just a lot harder, especially if you're going to assemble a bunch of different stories.
No, I'm not using
Um,
Canva as my documents. That one's way too confusing for documents. It's only good for minor photoshopping and creating images. What I am using is a Word document for my documents.
Okay, you're using Word doc.
Yes.
Yeah, because you gave it to me as a PDF, and I
Yeah,
found it
because
annoying.
I've been told more than once if I use that document, you actually have to pay for Word document to be able to open up the file.
Yeah, where Google Docs, like you can just do the exact same as you do in Word with Google Docs, but
Yeah.
you can share it a lot easier. And when you share it, there's a thing. Let me open it up again, because I did this to you the other day.
Well, at the very least, I'll have Google Docs saved because that's how I'll start sharing files from now on.
Yeah.
But
Also, Google Docs automatically saves as you're working. It doesn't require you to save a document.
I'm going to go ahead and bounce on out of here.
Okay, party on, bro.
Here,
Thanks for
Eddie. Have
coming
a great
by.
weekend, buddy.
I know we ended up getting into the weeds about random crap, and
Well,
you
that's,
probably
that's,
aren't
that's
supposed
fine.
to. Yeah.
See y'all later.
See you,
Have a good
bro.
weekend,
See you.
bro.
Okay. I'm gonna. I just opened up a new project. So it's share, right?
yeah.
Oh, I guess I don't have anything that I can share with. Oh, I guess I need to name the document. Okay, save the document. Okay, so share, and then restrictions. Anyone with the link.
Oh,
I
dang.
don't think Shadow changed
Yeah.
this, right?
No, yeah, I totally missed that.
So this restricted, it means when you share the link, right? So you saw the blue thing up in the corner, and if you already had the thing named, it won't ask you that other window. So you click this, and anyone with the link will be able to view the document, and then you come over here, and then it's like comment and edit. Don't ever put edit on, because you don't want people changing what you've written.
Yeah.
But comment,
Unless you do, actually.
yeah, unless you're like working on something with someone else. Comment, and we will say done. And then what will happen is over here, do you see my cursor? It
Yeah.
will allow you to create notes over here for people to, like, when someone opens up your document, they'll be able to create a note over here referencing something for you to read. And then you can either ignore, rewrite, and ask them to look at what you changed, or dismiss altogether. You can interact with that person through it. And then when you're creating a chapter head, I don't know if you figured this out up here, right? You see, it says normal text.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It became a title. You see how it popped up over here, this H?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that turned it into the title of a book. And then you get like subtitle, and then heading, and then many headings. These are for like chapters. So you do that chapter, and you like, say, hit here, make this the title. It should offset. I think need to do this like 3. See, it'll offset. It'll even change the font size based on what it is, so it stands out properly in format. Yeah, I'm gonna close that. We don't need it anymore. Um, it helps. You can do that in Word as well, but I find it to be more confusing in Word, and you can output as uh, what's it, docx or xdoc or whatever it's called file. It's something weird like that in both programs, which is the conventional one. But you for for KDP, which is um, Kindle Direct Publishing. That's Amazon's publishing, self-publishing house. And if you guys want, I can walk you through how to set up accounts on that later. Not right
Yeah,
now.
yeah. There's no point.
Because honestly, you write a short story like Shadow. You could take your short story as it is right now and put it up there, and just start selling it for like $2 or whatever. People will buy it. Now you want to put it on Biggest Geekus as well. That means you won't be eligible for Amazon's. They have a program called. Oh fuck! I can't remember what it's called, but they have a subscription that people can buy. Right, like
Okay.
you know how you pay a subscription to Audible every month.
Right.
You can do the same thing with ebooks for your Kobo or whatever it's called. It's not a Kobo for Amazon. It's something else. You know what an ebook is, right?
Right.
The little tablet looking thing with the white paper screen. Um, and you get access to their entire library that's eligible for that program instead of buying that book. But the author of that book gets paid every time somebody reads it, just a few cents. But it's like this person is obviously not buying things individually because they have the subscription plan, so you
Right.
get money from it. You get to nickel and dime the community that wouldn't be buying your books anyway. But you wouldn't be eligible for it if you're not exclusive on
Gotcha.
Amazon. But otherwise, you could sell your books for like $2, $3, $4, whatever, and $10 if you want. But nobody's going to buy an ebook for the price of a normal book,
Right.
especially a short story. Uh, you can have a collection of short stories published because I think the smallest, the thinnest they'll print a book is 120 pages, which is 60 pieces of paper. Uh,
Yeah,
because
the two
pages
Razor
both
Fist
sides.
books I got, I don't think they were done through Amazon. Maybe they were,
Yeah,
but they're only 120 pages. Uh,
yeah,
not
yeah.
not you know not super thin, but it's also a a little bit larger sized uh, book.
I
It's not
can't find my. I had a book here.
kind of like a little bit bigger than a digest size. Not as small as a paperback, but I don't know what the format's called, but
6 by 9 is
yeah, it's something like that. I would say.
the size they want, and that's called a trade paperback,
Okay.
instead of just a normal paperback. But I showed you my copy of Tech War I had here, right? That's a 300-page book.
Yeah.
So uh, roughly a third of that,
Yeah.
a little bit more, and that's like that thick. So that thick.
Well, what I'm hoping for is about a
Very thick.
dozen. I'd like a perfect dozen.
Well, honestly,
Short
I
stories.
think your book should be your short stories. My book should be my short stories. TCG, if he sticks around, his book should be his short stories. And if you're doing roughly 20 to 30 pages per short story, right? Well, 20, that's what, 5, 6 short stories?
Yeah.
It's not a dozen per volume. So by the end of this year, at 6 weeks, you'll have enough to do one on your own.
Yeah. Well, I do like
And
the idea of
we cross promote each other with, like, at the back, you
yeah.
know.
That's what I was thinking about the other day. I would really like an anthology with other people's stories in it. But I'm gonna read like the three stories, the
So,
Freebird stories, and then have like an ad or something in the back saying, hey, you want to read the whole novel? Then here's the whole novel.
well,
Those
uh,
links or things to other
if you
people.
want more from this universe, my friend Justin or TCG have also written in this universe. And then I don't know, we could also then release like so all the shared universe stories
Mhm.
could also be released separately as like in the universe of
Right.
only um and make it
Thieves World
clear.
or whatever.
Yeah,
Because I really, really, I was talking to Joe and Randy about it. I really love the way Lovecraft and Howard and those guys all did
yeah.
that back in the day. And then Thieves World, they did that as well. And
Mhm.
Wild Cards by George R. Martin and Roger Zelazny and those guys did a
Yeah.
superhero one. I really like that collaborative project
Mhm,
idea
mhm.
that shows people aren't like so like it's mine, you can't have it kind of
Yeah.
attitude. Um,
No, but like I'm saying, okay, so we all release our own volumes with our own short stories in them, and then we combine the ones that are themed in the same world as a book, and maybe put those out as a thing. Um,
Well,
for
at
those
this point,
those
admittedly,
those people
sorry.
who have no problem buying the same story multiple times, because there are always people that will do that.
yes, but it
At this
just
point, when it comes,
Yeah,
especially since we're all new and young and starting out
yeah,
at it's not necessarily age wise, um,
yeah.
but we're
In
gonna,
our
lean on each other from time to time and be inspired and get help and to
mhm,
encourage that sort of idea so that little guys can go out there and do something and not
mhm.
feel like you know how it used to be where you could submit your story 30 times and get turned down 30 times. Well, that those days are gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could literally write a book of crap and there's a market.
Well, there are three ways to publish a book. There's the old school way, which is becoming less and less value as the publishing houses do less and less for you, and still take ridiculous cuts.
Yeah.
Then there's vanity publishing, which most old schoolers think self publishing is. Vanity publishing is just a scam. They take your money to print a bunch of books, and unless you're doing it like that's what Omenau's mom did. But
Yeah.
whoa, where did TCG go, bro? Get back in here. Uh, but she's apparently
that was my internet.
aware of like what she did. Yeah, yeah, it happens. That's why I saw your number pop back up in the corner. Um, uh, but a lot of those people like they just deliver you a box of books in vanity publishing, and sometimes they might offer editing, right, which you have to do yourself, and maybe they'll package the USBN number, which is the only thing you have to pay for, but you don't need it. You don't legally need it. You can publish your story without a USBN number. It's just easier for entities to track your writing.
Mhm.
That's the it's got a name, but it's the you know what it is, right? It's
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
the number on the back of a book with the barcode. You have to generate the barcode yourself, but I don't have to pay for it. My government does that for me. Yours doesn't. Um, but if you're publishing on Amazon, they give you one, but it's only good for selling your book on Amazon because it's their in-house thing. So you couldn't then take that number and use it on Biggest Geekus. You'd have to put it out there as a separate edition
Right.
that is like just the story without the tracking number. But who the fuck cares?
Yeah.
You put it on Biggest Geekus for like 50 cents less, right? Because you said you want to support our community. Put it cheaper over there.
Yeah.
And let the guys around here know you can get it a couple of cents cheaper over on Biggest Geekus if you don't
Right.
care
Well, they
about.
don't do print on demand yet, which bums me out.
They just do digital distribution of content, so it's just the ebook,
Yep.
which is like fine, right? It's just an EPUB,
Yeah,
which
and
is okay.
that will act as advertising.
Yeah,
Uh,
and also like I said, put it a little cheaper over there, so those of us that know you can get it there, and like I said, 50 cents, $1 here or there, digital content. Uh, But you put it on Amazon, also ebook and print on demand for the randos out there that have no idea who the fuck Shadow is and come across it. They because your friends have like picked up the ebook or whatever, and they see that it's ranked up. Amazon will start sending it out to whomever, right?
yeah.
The algorithm. You wanted to say something before we both cut you off, TCG? You
Um,
remember what it was?
no, it was something for that particular moment.
It happens.
But another subject. Uh, Two things I noticed. Shadow hasn't said anything that I kind of disappointed he didn't. Uh, One is the world itself was left vague enough. It could have been sundown, might not have been. And two, uh, crap, I just had it too. Oh yeah, the rule of the duel. I was surprised Shadow just didn't make a comment about that.
hmm,
In what regards?
Oh, you must not have really noticed it. I set it up on that planet. The rule of the duel is if two people duel, everyone around it has to respect the results of that duel if they like it or not.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
That
yeah,
was
that's usually the
pretty
case.
standard. And I did wonder if that's where you were setting it, which is absolutely fine, because
Hmm.
there's plenty of room. It's just a big dust ball, so why the hell
Oh yeah.
not, right?
Yeah,
Well, I was kind of leaning towards yours. I figured I didn't want to say 100% it was a showdown until I knew more about the planet itself. But I wanted to lean in that direction by saying it had a lot of lizards on it. Like the main species there is lizard, so it's like, I'll just lean towards the lizards.
Yeah, I'm
bro.
going to use lizards a lot.
Yeah,
Uh,
uh,
they're fun.
bro. Neither of us have come up with any rules, but I did present that map.
Yeah.
It's in the last tab on my Discord. Um, that all those stars, besides maybe the like a donut hole in the middle around Sol, is where we're supposed to be playing in this world, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
and as long as you make sure you try to reference the core as the ultimate redundant of bureaucracies,
Yeah.
with it's
yeah,
all its tyranny and apathy rolled into one.
decadence and
Oh yeah.
and you know,
Well,
I've been I took that image that I have there because it's just from some website
yeah.
that is talking about astronomy, and I've been slowly marking it out on Canva with dots so we can have like a proper like our map that you can
Oh
like
yeah.
put in your book and circle around whatever world it's taking place in and do like the we are here kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
If you want, I don't know if you'd find that useful, Shadow. I think I would.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah. We should do a little work on that together because I
Yeah.
have some.
well, right now I've taken like a screenshot of that map because it's like a funky file format, and I'm just like opened it up in Canva and putting circles over each star, and then I will color code them to the type of star they are in real life, and then name them what they are named in real life because it's a real star map, right? Like I personally like that little touch of realism in my fiction whenever I can. That way you don't get
Yeah.
spurred going, oh, that star doesn't exist, right? Like obviously
Well,
rename them as explorers go out
yeah.
and actually colonize stars. You can rename them.
Right,
Just not.
like if you notice with the system I'm working with, it's got the geological survey name, which is Cairn
Yeah,
1 through 9, but the
yeah,
people on that are not going to call it Cairn 5. They're just not.
yeah.
They're gonna rename it and go to the Empire or Federation or whatever.
Oh,
Call it
the
what they call
galactic
it.
charts. Well, it probably got renamed by whoever the expeditionary force was, right? And
Right, because
uh,
first you have the astronomers who give it a name, then the explorers go,
yeah,
"Well, I discovered it, so to speak. We're
yeah.
renaming it."
The star might still have like in subtitles N197 or whatever, right?
Or in parentheses or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, it
In parentheses would be
so don't
correct,
want
or
to
just like
like overcomplicate it when you see like the name of an animal and then they give the scientific name.
yeah,
Nobody cares.
yeah. Um, but like I'm working on that. I've got about the center of the core because I've been working from the sun out, right, the sol out.
Uh-huh.
So I've got about a quarter of the map just dotted so far, and then I will color code them, and it'll look decent enough for you to throw in a page as a black and white image.
Yeah, I was thinking about that
Uh,
too because if when it comes to art,
yeah,
I have absolutely no qualms with putting in as much as I can get
yeah.
for it.
I do like when I was reading the BattleTech books, I would have you can get that big map. They have a map
Right.
that you can download, and it's like a text document almost. It's got like little things. I took that image. You can get it off of SarnaNet. And I just like every time I'd read a book, they'd mention a location. I would put a circle around it on that map in paint, and just so I could see where they're talking about visually. I like doing that. I like that when you have stories in a world that you can see where they're taking place on a map. I like that. I know other people like that. I don't know if you guys like that. We got messages here. Uh, oh, I was talking about publishing when I got sidetracked. Uh, uh, yeah. Maybe. Um, maybe. Vanity publishing it has become more and more of a scam. Uh,
How so?
well, vanity publishing is when you pay someone to produce the hardcover copy of your book, and then you get the boxes of them.
Yeah.
But they nickel and dime you for all kinds of stuff. And in the day of modern self publishing, a lot of that stuff is automated that they do. So all you're doing is paying for physical copies of a book that you can get, and then you're also now responsible with the distribution of those physical copies
Right.
that you wouldn't be responsible for
Well,
through
back in the day,
self-publishing.
I could see, having, like if this goes to print, if when I get it finished, I would want, a box of 20 of them here at the house.
Yes, but you can always go on. Do I have it here? Let me open up. Let me open up Kindle. Da. Screen share. Other window. Is it this one? Right. So let me go back over to the monitor. You see this here? You see this here? This is
Yeah.
the character sheets that I created from Workboard. If I wanted a copy of this, I can order it through this window here to be sent to me and pay printing cost only, right? Like so I wouldn't be paying the margin that would go to me as well. They would deduct
Okay.
it.
Okay.
And I can get that. a slightly, like, I can get that at a cost, and then I can get what's called a review copy as well, which has a gray bar going across the middle saying it's a review copy for non-distribution,
Okay.
which is even cheaper. Uh, Stop sure. Um, so you can just order them, like you're still paying, like you'd be paying a lot less to order 20 copies for self distribution
Right.
than you would be paying for 20 copies from a vanity press. But a vanity press would be a minimum volume of like a couple of hundred or maybe 1,000. Lulu, you could set it up through Lulu. Or does Redbubble do books? I didn't know Redbubble did books. Or does Redbubble own Lulu? Uh, has the option to. Okay. But once again, like, diversifying publication is probably a good thing, but it does limit that one option on Amazon with
Right.
their subscription ebook thing. Which, who the fuck cares? You want it, you want it. You don't, right?
Right.
But once again, I would recommend that if you're going to diversify, buy the ISBN number from whoever your local broker is, and you have to do that for each version of the book. Um, Not books, but still, maybe. Um, Honestly, I don't think Lulu is a good option for distributing books. That they want that to be for crafts, not for mass-produced things.
Really,
Yeah,
I've bought several books from them, and they're nice.
yeah.
They
Maybe I'm
deliver
thinking
a
of the
quality
wrong one.
product.
Yeah.
Just make sure they never find
Unfortunately,
out
they
that you're
are kind of
publishing anything
expensive.
that's not yours, or not publishing,
What?
printing anything that's not yours.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
It's not really circles amongst we have. It's some book writing channels I've watched for what we're doing here, and
Yeah.
they literally have said the same exact thing Max Liao said. If you try publishing, if Lulu finds out you're publishing something that's not yours, they'll tell you they're not a print house.
Yeah. Which is true. What you shouldn't be doing anyway, because it's a copyright thing.
Oh,
But no,
well,
Right,
that
but
kind
if
of
you have permission from them, you know,
it's one of those things. Um, but still, I've never heard anyone complain about the print quality from Amazon. And obviously, they must be doing something right. They do have 80% of the global market on all literature sold.
mhm.
Um,
I have a copy of Grimm's book, and I think a couple other books, and no complaints there either.
mhm.
Although,
They do have less options than, say, Ingram Spark, which is, I want to say, Barnes and Noble's self-publishing branch.
okay,
Um, I would recommend them as well, but once again, there's less I know about what's going on there. But like, once again, Amazon's 80% of the global market.
right. And
So
unfortunately, a couple, I bought some of Total Party Skills books, and the paper quality is crap. But I'm
from
assuming
where?
from
From,
Amazon.
now, this is the thing: was he self-published on Amazon or distributed through Amazon?
I am
Because
not sure.
yeah,
But I know he's the kind of guy that would skimp on paper quality for different reasons. Whereas,
yeah,
like, everything I've gotten from Lulu and Drive Through has been like top notch. Just, this is what you're going to get. You don't have the option of, going
yeah.
cheaper paper quality.
Um, the options on Amazon don't give you paper quality. They only give you the difference between Um, white or cream, right? And it's still the modern paper quality, not the old pulp paper.
Right.
It's the new stuff. Um, so you can get like a cream color that's supposed to be easier on the eyes. Um, and then they have like black and white or full color print, and then they have like an option for like ultra vibrant, like a really high, like for like if you're doing an art book or something like that.
Uh,
And then they have matte and gloss. I recommend matte for interior. And then they have trim, no bleed and bleed, right? Bleed is like if you want images to go right to the edge of the paper instead of ending a little bit of an before the margin, right? So you do that. I recommend that you shut bleed off. Always have yes bleed, and make sure the focus of your image is more than an inch from the edge of the page. That way, if you accidentally put an image that goes to the edge, it doesn't give you an error warning, because it will do that, because it actually takes a minute or two to check everything in your manuscript before um authorizing it, to make sure it's like not pirated material or whatever, right? Yeah. Uh, do you understand what the fuck he's talking about?
yeah, he wants books made to a previous standard.
Yeah, I don't
What's
know. Um,
Getting the skin of
sadly,
children is really hard.
sadly, we're not going back to the day of mass-produced leather-bound books, because they were never mass-produced. But yeah, I do like a Coptic stitched bound book, even if it's not leather fabric. But you can do that. Binding a book is not that hard. It's just tedious. It takes time.
And making sure you got the right glues, because if you don't got a strong enough glue, there's no
No,
point in it
no,
to begin with.
no.
Well, I don't mean like you have to have ridiculously strong glue, but I think like someone would think, oh, I could do this with super glue.
PVA glue from the dollar store. That's all you need.
I prefer wood glue, but just a stronger
Wood,
version
wood
of that,
glue. Wood
basically.
glue would be good. Paste. Paste was the common glue back in the day, which is just
Yeah,
starch and water.
yeah, that's true. I'm
I
just
think
saying,
there's
like
a few
nowadays,
other
the first
things.
people would grab if they're going to do that would be super glue.
No, no, super glue is the wrong glue. It's
yeah,
too
problem.
brittle. You need something
Super
that's
glue,
elastic.
as let's see here, how did one guy put it online? Super glue is almost always the wrong answer.
There are times when it's the right answer. Model
I said
making.
almost always, not always.
Yeah.
Like miniatures, like super gluing metal miniatures or things like that. It's not perfect, but it's better than some of the other glues because of how quickly it dries.
Yeah.
But when it comes to anything that requires any sort of force or levering or basically anything like that,
No,
super glue is useless.
super glue has no tensile strength whatsoever.
Exactly.
And it's even worse if you use an accelerator.
Yeah. I do like it when working with resin, the 3D printing resin.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
resin seems to love anything along that lines. If it dries out, resin loves it. It'll hang on to it as if it's been glued down.
Yeah.
In fact, I have a couple miniatures I tried to strip, and they're only half stripped because I got to try something that's stronger than alcohol because the alcohol will not take all the paint off. That's how much the
LA's awesome,
resin
dude.
hangs
Just
on.
use LA's awesome.
It's different with the resins that are used in 3D printing.
Oh
You got to
yeah,
be careful, because certain chemicals will chew on that stuff. It's only potato starch after all.
I thought he was talking about metal miniatures.
Oh no, no. We switched over to
resin.
resin for a
Yeah.
minute there.
Yeah,
We'll
with
talk
resin,
about
I would just say screw it and
print
print
another
it
one.
over. Yep.
Yeah. It's literally when you're talking about a miniature that you've 3D printed yourself, assuming you're using a resin printer. Um,
I am.
the resin, okay, buying a bottle of resin might be like 30, 40, $50, but when you actually take into account how much resin's used for the making of a single miniature, it's like 40 cents, 50 cents. Like you're spending more on the alcohol to strip it than you are
Yeah.
the resin. Um, which is just like, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I did. I was just gonna say, I didn't think about that at the time. It was just a matter of, oh well, these two didn't turn out like I wanted. Let's just strip and start over. I didn't think at
Yeah.
that particular time. I didn't know how hard it was to strip resin miniatures either.
Yeah.
Well,
It's also
3D printed
like
resin.
a force of doing something. Like you're always told to strip a miniature because of the old school. It's $5 to buy a miniature minimum, not 30 cents or whatever
Yeah.
to print a new one. Okay, yeah, you have to wait the 2 to 5 hours or whatever long. I don't know. The last thing I was printing, each section of it took up the entire height of my build plate. Here, I'll get it. I'll show you the last thing I printed.
Nice.
Oh.
I haven't actually printed in a couple months because of my vat broke, and we need to replace it. It's pretty cool.
I couldn't hear you. I didn't put my headphones on.
Oh man. I haven't printed anything in a couple months because my
Well, did you
I
see how big
dented
that
the
was?
bottom of my yes. Now my unless that was printed in like less than 6 inches by 7 inches, or no, 4 inches by
Yes,
7 inches.
that was printed in sections this big.
Oh wow. Yeah.
And obviously, like I was using spray paint as line, like gap filler, along with
Oh yeah.
Bondo. So
My
it's still a work in progress.
I use bare paint primer. Even if you get too much of that stuff on, it doesn't even fill the layer lines of 3D prints. It lays so flat.
I recommend you get some Bondo, some they got the tube. It's
Yeah.
red.
Like automotive.
Yeah, Bondo.
Okay.
It's like this color. And
Well, that's one of the secrets that they don't.
it's got a strong odor though. It's got a really strong odor.
It's one of those tools they don't tell you about generally in model making circles because they don't realize how nice it is to work with. But it's actually designed to be easy to apply and easy to sand because then you got to make it super flat with the metal and then paint over it.
Yeah, and if you put it on there as a gob, smooth it out with your thumb. Put a glove on. Use a bare hand. I don't fucking care. It's supposed to be toxic, so use a glove. And then just let it dry. Then sand it down. Then fill in any voids that are left. Just expect to go over whatever your gap filling with it 2 or 3 times. Unless you get good at it. I've just used it a few times to fill in the seams between the pieces of this thing. Yeah. Which I still have to finish one arm on. Yeah. But I don't know. Yeah. PVA. Yeah. If you're bookbinding, it's got to be PVA glue. Your glue should be in the PVA families, Bubba. Or a paste. PVA or a paste. A lot of wood glues are in those families, so they're safe to use. You want a roller? You can get like an amateur bookbinding starter kit off of Amazon for like $16. It comes with a bone file, ruler, and all the proper needles for both paper stitching and leather stitching. The the right cordage, some banding. I think some of them even come with headers, the little fabric top piece if you want, because that comes as a ribbon. You cut it off. Um, and then you just print up your signatures, right? Because you need like uh, page 1, page 2, then like page 10, page page 9, page 10, something like that to fold. Because you usually have them in um like 7 sheets of paper or something like that, 6 sheets of paper. It's not that many, and then you sew holes in them and connect them. There's techniques, you can watch videos on it, obviously. And then you'll probably need like a book press of some kind. Like one of the first pieces of equipment that they recommend you get is either a stitching guide to make sure your holes are punctured correctly, but you can make one of those out of a piece of cardboard.
Mhm.
And then a book press, which is you can make with some threaded rod and a couple of uh, like heavy cutting boards and some wing nuts. You just need the corners and press them down together. One second. People outside are yelling. Um, Mr. Max would know a lot more about this than I would. He's done it before. I've been looking into doing it because, like I said to Shadow, I wouldn't mind having a shelf of all volumes looking the same, like they were in an old fucking library or the old law office shelf.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was looking into a little bit of bookbinding, which ended up leading to my both my Pinterest and my YouTube feed occasionally popping up with how to make a book look old.
yeah, yeah,
It's like, well, some of those techniques are actually pretty neat.
yeah.
Like one I would love to do is you use hot glue to make a thin skeleton rib cage, and then you do a
Yeah.
thin leather over that on the book. Looks really cool.
I will actually bring these chats up.
Of course, I think they were just using like a law book or a textbook just for the look. I don't think they actually used what I would call a halfway decent book for it.
Yeah, you can make a lot of the tools yourself, bro. It's just that starter kit has everything like uh together and at a cheap enough price that it's not worth.
Yeah. Most starter kits are generally meant for people who don't know what to look for, more than people who have money.
Yeah. The starter kit on Amazon for that is it's like I said, $12 to $16.
Yeah.
That was in someone else's end. You should actually do some videos on that, Mr. Max, sometime on one of your channels. Is go through what you absolutely need as a minimum, because I see that with a lot of the bookbinding channels is they brush over a lot of details in their tutorials just because they're people that have been doing it so long.
If Mr. Max gets too many more channels, he'll be able to make a living off of YouTube.
Yeah, well, the guy doesn't need money, okay? But yeah, it's just you could recycle one of your existing channels, like your role playing channel. A lot of the people that are into that kind of stuff are also into quality
I do
books.
see quite a few like crafty channels where they're trying to make like a wizard spell book or something like that.
I have personally noticed Mr. Max, Max Liao, and Heathen Dog, and even Bear, to a degree, are the uniquities in our groups. Most people in our group like having props and usually like doing it themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting poor. I don't now. I'm getting poor.
It's called inflation.
Yeah, well, it's also called a bad 1 or 2 cycles in the old Bitcoin blender. Uh,
Oh,
I don't know. Uh, yeah, yeah. Um, I've watched a lot of like the Das bookbinding channel and a few of the others, and it's always like I feel like something is missing here. And I know when I feel that something is missing, it's because something is missing. I've gone too many times into those projects where I've followed a tutorial and they've skipped over a step because they assume you are there at a beginner's tutorial because you already know what you're fucking doing. And it's like
that's not how that works.
that's not how that works.
No.
Oh, it's like
That's I forgot the name off the top of my head. That's why one of my favorite painting channels. He's been on for like 3 years, 4 years now. His paintings still revolve properly around how to do more basic and advanced techniques in a beginner style.
whose channel is that?
Ah, crap. I want to say Midwinter Minis. It's either that or Squidmark, and I'm leaning toward Midwinter Minis.
I
No,
know.
no, no. Both those guys have been around for a while, and
And they suck ass.
yeah, do it. Uh, yeah.
And they're
I'm
the
not
guys
even.
I'm thinking. I think they're the guys I'm not going to watch too much more, if at all, of, because they're the one. If I'm correct, there's the ones that went. Oh, by the way, we did a game that we did some painting that could potentially offend people. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's probably Midwinter.
No, yeah. They're the ones
Yeah.
who spurred out that there were certain faction in a World War II game.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
like
don't you just did the same thing they did. They're called Nazis, bro. You think I have a problem with you saying Nazi on my channel?
uh, it's hot here, dude. It's fucking. I'm dying out here. Not
Yeah,
only is it
yeah,
hot,
yeah.
not only is it hot, but every once in a while out here, everybody's swimming pool gets
Shadow,
evaporated
say
into the
Nazi.
Nazi,
Okay.
Nazi, Nazi, Nazi.
Just making sure you weren't just avoiding again.
No, no. Oh my god. He shows his self, his face for
Just
that.
as a Kyle. I know why he doesn't. He runs into serious lag issues if he leaves his camera on too long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're a bunch of pussies, and
Yeah.
you got to have the bad guys. What are we supposed to?
Well, yeah, but they had no problem with the bad guys. They had a problem with the good guys.
The idea that you are going to omit a
He's gonna spend
faction from
more.
a historical game cr- turns it into a no longer historical game, because now
Yeah.
it's an alternate Earth fantasy, you know, historical game, which that's fine, but that's not what the producers of that game wanted. They made all of the different factions for a reason, and the fact that you can't even buy certain faction armies in certain countries is, as Bubba would say, gay and retarded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like they're going to take Chaos Brains out of freaking 40K because they're problematic.
Yeah. Well, what countries
Oh,
can't
have
you
you
buy
heard what they?
the Nazis
Sorry.
in?
I thought Germany, to be honest.
No, you can buy the Nazis in Germany.
Really?
Yeah, that's why if you ever notice the boxes don't have a swastika on it, they have the cross
Uh-huh.
the tank corps used instead. That's why, because they want to be able to sell them in Germany.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which is gay
And retarded.
and retarded.
Well, one of
They
my
the same thing with the
my
Confederates.
Gundam. In fact,
Yeah,
my only Gundam has a swastika sitting right on it, and a couple of other Nazi symbols, because I dressed it up as a German Luftwaffe, or painted up as a German Luftwaffe.
For your challenge back in the day.
Yeah.
yeah. Which sorry I didn't get to, man. I have
Yeah, nobody did. Don't feel bad. Nobody did. I don't know, but
Brian from Weird World War II did.
like he's gonna miss out on something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The law against the swastika was lifted in 2018. Huh. I didn't know that.
What I had heard mostly was the import of those kind of things,
Yeah.
which I mean,
Yeah.
you would think that they'd be the major exporters of that thing. So where's the
No, because Germany is a broken slave state of the
yeah? No, I know.
greater Israeli colonial
Trying to be
empire.
funny, but it didn't work.
Yeah,
Failed miserably.
I get what you're getting at, but it's a sad state of affairs. Okay, it's very sad what's happening in Germany.
Another sad state of
One day they will get their balls back.
Yeah. Another
Speaking
sad
of
state
balls,
of affairs
I'll
of
be right
another.
back.
If Hitler were to pop up today, half of America would join him like idiots.
No, actually, you're wrong. He had a lot more supporters back in the day than he would have now.
Oh yeah, well I know he had a lot of supporters here in America. I'm talking about not just like, oh, we support Germany. I know I'm talking about literally moving to Germany and then thinking that'll be good for them.
It would be. Well, it wouldn't because that country is it's not got a lot of living space. You wouldn't have the.
Yeah.
But whatever. Fuck. I'm definitely gonna wrap up at the 2 hour mark.
Yeah.
Fuck. I was thinking I was gonna be wrapping up at the 15-minute mark today. So.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, I would really like a real slow-paced idiot's guide to every single step of bookbinding for a real dumbass, Mr. Max, by somebody I can understand. Well, okay, by somebody I can follow along with, even though I can't understand what they're saying.
All I can imagine now is Mr. Max's thumbnail being the yellow background, bookbinding for idiots, and you see Mr. Max with a big pair of glasses on.
Oh yeah, and instead of an awl or whatever, he's just smashing the pages with a banana.
Yeah.
This week on the Banana Report, we have a special edition of How to Bookbind with a Banana.
And here's how we use banana as glue.
And this is how we make paper out of banana. And this is how we make book card with banana.
And remember, everybody,
banana
every
leather
bit of banana,
to bind.
Yeah, remember, everybody, every piece of the banana is useful. Don't waste it.
I'm sorry, but I'm just picturing him doing that. I have a very visual mind.
Yeah.
I'm cracking up over it. Did you catch any of that?
No, I missed all of it.
We're talking about Mr. Max doing the bookbinding thing, but
Doing the what thing?
doing the bookbinding tutorial, but doing it on the Banana Report. So he's doing everything with bananas.
That sounds incredibly difficult.
Yes.
And telling everybody, don't remember, everybody, use every piece of the banana. Don't waste any of it.
Oh. I just see him like taking a banana and then flattening it out with a rolling pin and then letting it dry so he can try and make paper out of it. Oh, and failing, but I'm going forward anyway. Oh.
You guys are crazy.
Yes. Yes.
This is what happens when you leave us alone for 15 minutes. Or really 5 seconds, actually.
5 seconds. Oh, so is there anything else anyone wants to cover? I used.
Oh yeah. There was something I wanted to. I had like a little epiphany yesterday. When it comes to writing, You know how they
Right.
always say, "Write what you know."
Don't do that.
Well, there's some truth to it. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not going to write about running a nuclear reactor without doing some research at the very least. I'm not going to
Yeah.
jump into. And the more you know about whatever you're writing, the better it's going to be. But uh, uh, a phrase.
Not my case. I'm really stupid when it comes to everything I know. I'm just saying, the things that I'm professionally competent in, you should never take my advice on.
Uh, Including taking your advice on taking your advice.
Yes,
Okay,
but don't do that either.
so take your advice,
But don't take it. Take it and then find a trash can and put it in that.
but the phrase I came up with is write what you want, as in write what you want to happen. Use it, as a way to make those dreams and fantasies come true, at least on paper. I noticed that I was writing about a certain thing that I don't actually have a lot of experience with, uh, and
Always
Don't
do a
worry,
little bit of
Shadow. It'll
research.
happen one day. We all know Jackie's actually adopted.
no, no, no. Oh, you're not far from the subject matter, but he does kind of look like the milkman. And like milkmen have existed in the last 20 years. Um, but
Well, the
I
FedEx
noticed that I
driver.
was I noticed that I was able to really capture something that I wish I would have had. Let's just leave it at that. You know, and I think that at least for me, it really helped uh, get my point across. If that makes any sense,
Yeah.
obviously, being able to get into a spaceship, I know nothing about, but it's because I
Yeah.
wanted so much that it not only is it fun, but I think it came across as believable.
Yeah. Nobody has the experience of being fucking Gandalf the Great, but somebody wrote about that
Well,
shit. So,
except for that one guy who makes certain games.
yeah, no, not even that guy. That guy's
At
just retarded.
least you knew who I was talking about. That's funny
Yeah.
because that shit ain't real. But we want it to be real, and therefore writing about it. I know that when I write my Archmage story, thank you, DM James, for making me want to write. Since no one's going to let me run the characters I want to run in
You create your
games,
own worlds with
they're not
them in
going
them.
to. They can't handle it. I've not to brag or anything, but I've been in too many freaking games that so many of them just seem like just boring as fuck to me because I've literally done this, like 100, a dozen, a score of times, and you know, I don't want the DM to cater to me, because there's other people at the table, but I'm
Yeah.
never going to find that perfect game unless I'm running it or I'm writing it.
So that's why you like the idea of my coat rack so much, huh?
Like the idea of what?
My coat rack so much.
Oh, yeah, because nobody's ever done that. A lot of things that, mind you, I do now get to game with a much higher class player. People.
I'm being cryptic to the audience because I think Raven's still watching, and I don't want her to know what the hell my coat rack is. But it's in our game on Sunday nights. Uh,
This
oh,
humidity is killing me, folks. Wow,
we should
literally
sit.
every swimming pool in a 50-mile radius is like hovering over my house.
Yeah, that's. I live right off a lake, man, and it's I can feel it in my room.
Yeah, so
I,
so
Uh,
I I live in the smack dab middle of the Bermuda Triangle of inland lakes. Like there is, I walk in any direction long enough, I will find a lake.
mm, well, I live just a stone's throw from Lake Ontario, and it's humid. Yes, I'm tell there, Justin.
But yeah, right with you.
I don't think that's a viable sentence, Raven. Still, yeah, I get it still, but there shouldn't be a question mark in the middle of I'm either.
But yeah, guys, go out there and write or game that the most epic game you could imagine or
Yeah.
story being in, instead of this mundane crap that everybody seems tied to. That's how you have to start your
Mm.
campaign is with something as mediocre and milk toast as possible. Don't be afraid to you know burn the town down in the first game. You know. Uh,
Yeah, well, that leads to like what you call a dramatic and setting incident, right? And you want a dramatic and setting incident. The town burning down could give your players a justification to like do things.
Think of I always use this as an example, although Shauna would use the opening to Pitch Black. But think of the opening of Goldeneye. You know,
Shut up, Robin. That's a response to this.
remember in Goldeneye how in the first within the first 5 minutes, Bond is freaking leaving the scene in that freaking tank. That was
Uh,
just like
no, I don't
boom,
remember that, but
Bond.
it sounds cool.
You know what I mean?
Golden. I gotta watch the Pierce Brosnan era of James Bond
He's
again.
always going to be my favorite Bond.
Yeah, same
He
here.
was made and born to be that part. Sean Connery's overrated. Roger
Yeah,
Moore comes across as a mincing homo, and
uh,
Timothy Dalton was too American for a Brit, and
and the new
Daniel
guy
Craig
is
was a
too
wuss.
whiny. Yeah, that's not so much him, but the direction they went in. It's
I know.
gritty and realistic. I think that's not James
He
Bond.
because
James Bond is absurd.
he could have been a great Bond,
Yeah,
but that whole weepy, oh, I lost my girl, after he,
yeah.
up until that point, probably slept with more people than all of the NFL,
James Bond was a womanizing racist dolt
right?
who looked into getting things done.
Yeah, from what
And he's not even like a cool, legitimate type of racist. He's just a like
he was more like Eckert from the original Michael Keaton Batman, trench coat,
not
scrub.
even that cool.
Oh, really? Well, I
No,
mean,
go read the books.
but he was close. You know what I mean? That's like
Yeah.
a closer representation than
Maybe
what.
that, but clean and in a suit.
But you know what I
Yeah,
mean? And I just did some deep dives. As I did with the Top Secret.
yeah.
Most spies were nothing like Bond. 99.99 off to infinity were not like Bond. They were,
Spies are fake and gay by design.
yeah.
Like I'm not even overusing the saying that way. Like they're literally all fucking facts. There's nothing cool about spies. What the fuck's Bubba talking about
Yeah,
here?
well, I forgot who it was, but someone tried to tell me that James Bond was
right.
actually a a government sponsored show as to make spies cool to make people want to become spies in the government. I don't know if
Right.
that's true
So
or
you're
not, but
looking
that's what
for the
someone
wrong
told me.
guys. And what Beelzebub is referring to is the opening of a game.
Yeah.
Keep on the Borderlands. The keep is meant to be your home away from home, your base camp.
Yes,
It's
yes.
safe. And instead, he's saying, no, you burn that to the ground, loot it, and then go make the caves of chaos your actual lair as
Yeah.
hire all the goblins and kobolds and ogres to be your flunkies and to basically just be evil.
Well,
Or
you don't even have to be evil. You could be like the people at the keep on the Borderlands are actually harboring the caves and sending those goblins out against their rivals. So
uh-huh.
you come in, find this out, and you burn the keep down because they're all fucking I don't know demon worshippers or whatever. They worship Mishra, and your people think that's evil.
Yeah, I think it's evil to use earthly deities on a non-Earth world without some sort of explanation, like, oh, they left Earth, because the goings were getting rough. I mean,
No, they're just there as well.
so I was going to say that. Um,
Yeah,
it's to show just how powerful they are, and even then, make up your own damn freaking stuff.
yeah,
It just bums me out that people that's what being a DM's all about, is making up
yeah,
your own shit. You
man.
don't get to do the cool shit like the players do. You got to do something else that's
Well, you can
monumentally cool, like giving them a cool place to
pull
do the.
out your damn file and strip the goddamn serial numbers off the shit you steal from the real world. That's your reckless rant for the day.
Right. Well, I'm not afraid to borrow
One of
or
these
have
days,
plagiarize,
one of these
shit.
days, something will come up, and I will not have it on this shelf over here.
I mean, personally, I like to do more than file the serial numbers off.
Yes, but you know what I mean. Like,
Mhm.
if you're inspired by Jeebus,
Because you can't help but do that, so you
yeah,
might as well embrace it and use it. Back a while ago, there was this trend in comic books of amalgamating. I think there's even a comic book company called Amalgam or something like that, where they would take Batman and Wolverine and go, "Here, what do you think?" And we'd all go, "Yeah, we all did that already when we were like 8. So nice try."
yeah,
You can't gnome supremacist. Oh, so you're a member of Jackie's cult, I see.
no
Uh,
supremacist.
but I mean,
Yeah,
you'd literally have to be, raised in a cube somewhere. Uh,
I have no problem with gnome supremacy as long as they're absolutely against goblin supremacy. Yeah.
reclaiming the
Depending on your
borderlands
depending on
like
your
the new
belief,
elfin age.
your
Hey, I want in on that
mythology,
campaign.
gnomes can be worse than goblins. The goblins will just simply kill and eat you. The gnomes will do far worse to you.
I swear to
Wait,
God.
wait. What ones read the who read Harry Potter here?
Sorry, I have a penis.
Yeah, that doesn't make you gay, bro.
It pretty much in my neck of the woods. It would have.
No, Twilight
That
makes you forget, and
that
it doesn't
makes
make
you.
you super gay because I read Twilight, so fuck off.
I was gonna say that just makes you bi.
Uh, what ones were the ones that ran the banks in Harry
Goblins
Potter?
in Harry Potter.
Goblins. Yeah, yeah. So you want to support the gnomes against the goblins.
I'm telling you, Bubba, you keep saying shit like that, I'm going to be like in half your games.
Well,
Just
I
saying.
still got that up.
And reclaiming the Borderlands for the glory of a new elfin age. I want
Yeah,
to be in that game.
yeah. Maybe you're doing that. Uh
Because, I've always thought that sort of
oh,
the
that was the spell.
40K version of the elves,
All right,
playing into
no
their
supremacy.
weaknesses uh, seems not just fun, but inevitable. No, nothing's perfect. Unless they've got
Yeah.
wings and halos, they're not
Oh,
perfect.
Prime Prejudice. Yeah, yeah. I have no problem with Prime Prejudice, man. I wouldn't mind being Mr. Darcy, or not Mr. Darcy, Mr. Yeah, Mr. Darcy, Fitzroy Darcy. Give me some of that Keira Knightley, like when she was like 20.
I always thought she looked extraordinarily like what's her name from the prequels, Star Wars.
Natalie Portman.
Yeah.
She was Natalie Portman's body double in that movie.
Okay.
She
So
was she was literally. Remember the scene where they the Jedi meet the princess and she's the decoy.
uh-huh.
They start talking to the decoy. Yeah, she's the one playing the decoy.
Oh, okay. So I wasn't.
But she's much skinnier and taller. So
Yeah.
She's
there's
skinnier
a
and taller, and yet she's the body double.
yeah.
Well, that tells
Well,
you how people
There's
felt
makeup.
about the character.
There's makeup in a dress, right?
Yeah.
But like, there's a reason why that association would be in your mind. That association was
okay.
implanted there if you saw
Because
the
I've only
picture.
seen like one movie with her in it, or that I knew of. I think it was one of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Is that
The
correct?
first three
Yeah,
Pirates of the Caribbean
I
movies.
thought it was her, and I'm like, oh no, it's not. Okay, that's
Yeah,
weird.
she was in the first. The Pirates one is a really good film.
I
Um,
really,
I liked the King Arthur movie, even though it doesn't super hold up.
yeah, you
It's
would
a good
think that I
film.
would love those Pirates movies, but I had a revulsion to everything Johnny Depp did in that movie. I just couldn't.
Yeah, he was too Jagger. Like that's what he based his character off of, was Mick Jagger.
And apparently it's stuck because now he can't freaking, blurt out a sentence without sounding like freaking Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah. Well, that's the cocaine and alcohol.
I thought it was the heroin, but okay.
It might have been heroin. I don't know. It's a fucking hard drug and alcohol, man.
Well, no, because they're like opposites,
I don't do these things, bro.
Nor do I, but
You're
I
the
know
fucking meth head.
I do know the effects. Heroin makes you, slow. Cocaine makes you seem fast.
I bet he did both.
You're probably right, but he definitely did way too much heroin. And,
Heroin, maybe.
no guy should wear that much fucking jewelry and claim to be straight. Just saying.
I've done a grand total of 4 drugs in my life.
Yeah.
Weed, which I really don't smoke anymore.
Good.
At the
Drugs are
time,
bad.
it was either I smoke some or I get my ass handed to me, which was meth, which to me was basically just an energy drink, which brings me to the third, which I do consider a drug, energy drinks, which I still drink. And I occasionally smoke tobacco, but that's on a very rare occasion.
Yeah.
And tobacco is a drug. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah,
You've
don't do
done
drugs,
meth.
kid.
You've done meth, man.
Yes, and I didn't. It was like an energy drink, not worth the money. That's all it was to me. Was just taking guzzling an energy drink in 5 seconds. That's all it was.
Yeah, meth is.
Yeah, people get really addicted to it, though.
To me, it's one of the most insidious, horrific things you can do to a society, and we're still feeling the effects of it. Despite that it's been around so long, the '80s just saw a boom in that, and I saw so many people just
Yeah,
turn into literal vampires.
Yeah.
fake Nazis were really into that shit.
You know what? I didn't hate him in Once Upon a Time in Mexico, and I didn't
Mhm.
hate him in The Ninth Gate.
Don't
And
think I know
Oh
the
man,
Ninth
I've
Gate.
only seen the Ninth Gate. If you want to think it is, I've only seen the Ninth Gate once. And it's like,
where
yeah,
he's tracking down the Satan Bible, and
yeah, that was. It's like, yeah, I'm never watching that again. It's good, but I'm never watching that again.
yeah, the female co-star, whatever, was just like creepy as fuck, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And what was his name? The guy who played Dog Brown in Cutthroat Island. He's a really famous
The
actor.
Ninth Gate.
Uh,
Oh
he
yeah.
was fantastic. I didn't even realize it was him. Uh, what the fuck is his name? He's so famous.
Yeah, I can't remember his name either. I've seen him in so many movies though. My favorite is Dog from Cutthroat Island. I love how he played that character. But
He played Dog Brown.
Yeah.
He was awesome in that too. He's a phenomenal actor, and I love that. That is literally my favorite pirate movie, Cutthroat Island.
A lot of my ship combat is
Franklin
based off of
Jella.
Cutthroat Island.
Thank you. I knew his last name started with an L. I was thinking Landis for some reason.
Yeah. That's odd because I just saw a thing on Cutthroat Island. Man, they lost a lot of fucking money making that movie.
Oh yeah, like I introduced Janet and Bruce to Cutthroat Island because they'd never watched it before because of all the bad reviews it had. when it
Yeah,
first
I
came
recommend
out.
it to him as well, and it's phenomenal. They they're you're not going to see another movie like that for that genre, if you will, for a good long time, if ever. And if you do,
Oh
it's
yeah,
going to be gay and retarded.
agreed. Because
The female co-star, is that Lena Oland?
I couldn't tell you. She's
Yeah.
just those eyebrows and just that. She literally has like a very like animalistic look to her. You know, whether it's canine or something like that. She just doesn't. If I found out that she was a werewolf, I'd be like, called it. You know what I mean?
Uh, huh. I don't know. Maybe it's the other person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna fucking watch this because I know I've seen it before, but I remember dick all about it.
It was interesting. It's a slow burn, and
I don't
uh,
mind a slow burn.
it's in my collection for a reason. Uh, but you know, it's nothing to write home about. It's decent.
Yeah, doesn't mean it ain't worth watching, especially the mind for story ideas.
Yeah, yeah. If anything, Frank Langella's character is an NPC villain you would definitely want in your story. He's classy, he's intelligent, he's a psycho, um, and he's powerful.
Yeah. Hmm. Well, unless you guys want to talk in on anything else, I'm thinking about wrapping up.
Yeah, I need a shower.
Yeah, that's why I was late to the show last night. I just felt like
Hot,
like
sweaty mess.
like a gym sock that's been worn for a week.
Yeah. That's why I took a shower yesterday.
See,
Like that.
as a person that writes, I gotta get into those like literary explanations. Like, it's called showing, not telling. Yeah,
Yes. Except with TCG, he needs to do the exact opposite.
he needs to show, not tell. He
Sort of. You'll
yeah
see what I mean when you read his.
yeah
It's a little too matter of factly.
yeah
He needs to loosen up. That's all.
yeah.
And just
Let things brief. I know what you mean. Um,
and if you get the chance to read all 2.5 pages of mine, let me know. I know there needs some work, but uh, I didn't come to a block. I just came to I'm freaking tired.
Yeah, I talked about that when I was meandering on my own here. One of the things I like to use AI for is when I get to a block to put into it what I've gotten already, then ask it for like five things they could think of to go from there, and then that will get the juices going again. And I'll probably discard all that crap, but it'll get the little hamster in my head running on his wheel again.
Yeah, I'm not having that problem. I'm just having
Um, I've had
uh,
that problem a few times, but
I've yet to have that problem with any of the things I've worked on. I've like
mhm,
thought it out pretty far in advance. But doing it and making it fun to do, uh, not just to write but to read. I'm
mhm,
trying to really uh,
mhm.
do that.
I will guarantee you that if you do that, you will discard everything that it suggests, but it will give you ideas to go
Uh-huh.
from there.
Yeah. Well, no, I need to focus because like right now on my Google Docs, I've got. Hold on a second.
Well, you saw my Google Docs yesterday when I brought up. There's like 40 things in there that I'm working on.
Yeah, I've got 6 or 7 right now,
Yeah.
and I need to stop. Finish one, and right now I'm not gonna work on anything, but Stampede. That's what my story's called, and finish
Mhm.
that, and then I'll
Well, you
have
got 6 weeks to work on it, so if you get
right.
inspired by something else, go
Yeah.
to it.
The problem is I've been inspired by 5 or 6 other things, and I got to pick one, and I don't like letting too much time lapse between something. So like the
Mhm,
next story after the Freebird story, I want to get that one done, and then I'll take a break from that and work on one of the others.
mhm.
Sort of cycle, things so that I can you know take a full break from one thing to work on another thing. And if other things pop up, I still have an unlimited number of Google Docs I can make. But yeah, I'm gonna go hit the showers, guys.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, party on. Party
Happy
on.
trails, everybody. Have a great weekend. Get some gaming done. Get some writing done, and don't forget to go out and get some sun and fresh air.
Nah. Look at this healthy glow. I maintain this by staying out of the sun.
Look at me. I'm a completely different color. You know, all I need to
You
do
need
is
more
dye
color
my
to be a
hair.
carrot.
I dye my hair and I can pass as an engine.
Well, I wouldn't say that. You've got the sub palette of a white guy, not the.
Yeah, yeah.
But okay. I'll let you go. I'll let you go.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
With
I'll see you guys Saturday night and
Saturday
Sunday
night.
for the
Later.
game.